good people of wherever we are.
Wow.
So you must know this. So I'll end there because we don't have much time. Let me talk about A. A's are in terms of talking, one, they are the heaviest black group. So most of them, you see them almost all the time moody. So they are people when they are in the room, they can be alone. They don't talk to people.
They don't talk to
yes,
people.
they can be there, and
Moody.
if you don't, yes, moody, almost all the time.
Are they not that kind of people who normally commit suicide?
Yes, because they don't talk to people, there's a likelihood that everything runs through their mind. So when it's over there, and then that is it. So you must know that when you are a person, there's a likelihood that you want to always be alone. But that one also is wrong. Because remember that God never created any one of us to be alone.
Okay.
God created you, created me around this time so that we can talk to each other, mingle together and so on and so forth. So you must know that you must not be alone. And because most of the time they can't speak audibly.
Okay.
So you see them, they want to talk, they say There are people, even if they are giving speeches, you don't feel, even they are making presentation, you don't feel the presentation. Like you don't see the head and tail of whatever is doing. But most of the time they are the engineers. When they are alone, things that nobody sees, they see it and then they correct it.
Hey, this one they are serious.
Yes. Most of the time they are inventors because they tend to spend a lot of time alone. So they do much thinking. But they can't implement most of the things. But the reason why they can't implement, not because they can't, but they don't have the heart. They also intend to pity people. They think about people first.
Okay.
So when they are working or when they are in the group, when, for example, let's finish a task, they also want to, okay, what about the person that may not have a leg, or the person that is sick, or they intend to pity people so much. And if somebody own them, they can't take the money. Because sometimes, how will the person feel, and so on and so forth. So that becomes their weakness, exactly. So you are with them, something that you need to reproach, even if your mother or father, you see that he's a top official, but he can't easily reproach people. He can't say, okay, what you've done is wrong. Because you only want to bring everybody along.
You want to please
everybody. That is the problem they have.
Okay.
But in terms of fertility, they are the most fertile. Most of them, they are most fertile. So when it comes to giving birth, whether male or female, very fast, every year they can give birth.
Wow.
Yes, the A's.
Okay.
So when you marry a lady, or a man marry a lady, or a man marry you, he's A, then you must know that unless there's some serious health challenges, other than that, every year you can give birth. There's no problem with their fertility. So that is their strength, that is their weakness. Because they can't speak, people intend to ignore them. But you must know that there are people who cannot speak. Before they speak in their mind first. So sometimes even they want to greet, let's say good evening, they will greet good afternoon. Somebody think they are crazy. No. Before he can say good evening, and it should be, he will say this thing in his mind first. Good evening, before it comes out. Before he can say it again, then he can say it right.
Doctor, is it possible that this group that you are talking about, one can have about two? Or it's not possible? Like one person can behave like the first group A, group B, group O.
Oh, yes.
O positive, either negative or positive.
Yes.
And the same person can still behave like A positive or whatever you are saying.
Now, what normally happens is that those who knows their blood group and they know their behavior. Now, what I normally tell people is that you must work on it because nobody's an island. For example, if you are a person, you don't want to offend people, you don't want to do this, you must learn to overdo that.
Okay.
So those who know, work on it. So that they can evenly play it. Because the world we are living, you can't say somebody's own, you can't go and take your money. You can't say you please everybody. No, you can't do that. So when you begin to know, naturally people work toward. Those who don't know also just be at where they are and live and die like that. But when you know, of course, you can make changes. As I said, when you are A, you know that okay, this is my weakness. My weakness is that I fear to even talk to people. Sometimes even to make presentation, I fear and all of that. And you begin to work on it. Then you can be able to overcome. So when you see people think you are that, but actually when you check, you see the main trait. Like he's not somebody who speaks, but when it comes to presentation, because he learned to do the presentation, he can do it perfectly. But at his own time, he doesn't care whether he's in the room with 1,000 people. He can be there alone for 1 year when nobody say hello. And also sometimes when you talk to them and like they like you and so forth, they begin to talk and they become over. they can talk and then forget they are where they want to alight. So there are people that you can be conversing with a car. You're like, oh, he's as rich, but he just
he'll be talking.
He'll be talking everything he can talk. But beginning he can't talk. He'll be there with silence. Unless you approach or he begin to speak letter by letter, he find interest in what he's saying. He will speak and they become over.
It's true. Yeah, because we have some people like that.
Yes.
Unless you approach the person before you know
the kind of person. Exactly. Oh, so those mostly is the A's. They don't like talking. They are very quiet. And they can be in the room, they don't care.
What we are talking about now is very important, but it's unfortunate that some people don't know their group, their blood.
And so what you need to do is easy. When you visit any health facility or any lab, just tell them you want to do blood grouping test. Any facility you go, just tell them you want to do. When you come to institute, we'll do it for you. It's not any much. It's a very small money. Then I don't know how much each person takes in their facility, but it's between 10 to 30 cedi maximum, or probably by 50 cedi maximum at any facility that they can be able to do the blood grouping for you. Then you know your treat and know how you need to handle, and even the kind of sickness that will come on your way. If we have much time, I'll mention some of them.
Yeah, we'll have much time. We'll mention some of them. So let's go to the next one.
Yes, the next one, I'll talk about the B's.
Okay.
The blood group B, whether positive and negative, I said it's almost the same.
Okay.
So most of the blood group B's, their behavior is that they are the treated person.
They are
streeters.
Streets.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you are with him or with her, and when he comes here, he wants to see everything neat. He wants to see things like this. He doesn't care whether you are sick or you have a problem. Unless the job is done, they will not sit. So when you are with them, they always look troublesome. So people cannot stay with them. But you must understand them, that God also created them in a certain way to make sure the work is, or the job is done. And when you are in a company, till they finish a task, they can't sit down. They don't know what is called rest.
Okay.
So they work, overwork.
Wow.
Yes. They are called no nonsense people. They don't tolerate that. Okay, because of ABC, because there's no light, or because they don't tolerate excuses. Let's finish the job.
Okay.
Till the job is done, we are not done.
We are not done. Wow. Okay. Very serious.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's continue.
So that is the B. The A B's runs between the A and the B.
Okay.
That is what simply their traits are. Mostly they are also moody like the A's. So they intend to be quiet, and sometimes they are very wild. Sometimes too they are quiet, and so on and so forth. And also let me mention that it's also around with even the kind of food that will be even good for you. So yes.
All this one too.
Yeah, food. And even the kind of sickness. I mentioned sickness.
Yeah, we'll mention sickness.
Yes.
It's very important.
So let me talk about the food.
Okay.
With O's, mostly they derive a percentage of their energies, daily energy, from regular exercise. Regular exercise. As I said, for O's, they must do or exercise almost every day. If you don't have time, then it means that every week you must find a way to exercise, because it's one of the ways you generate energy. And when you are young, you also derive some of your energy from red meat, the normal cow meat. Unless you are grown. When you are grown, it means that you need to reduce it so that it will not create more problem for you, because you derive some of your distance. With the grains, they normally do what with the legumes, with the red, what's the name? Brown rice, and the legumes, and all those. And when they feed on maize, it makes them fat and also make them moody. Yes. So the O's must not regularly feed on maize and yes, anything made.
What about fufu?
Yes, fufu is. It sounds like fufu. Okay, so fufu is also good. Fufu is also good. But most of the time, when you want to live nutrition wise, you must add brown rice to most of your dishes. Of course, if you can't buy like a whole brown rice and cook, which we know is a little expensive, you can buy the brown rice and add it to the other rice that you cook, so that the nutrient that you need, especially as blood group O, you can be able to get it. And they are in the majority. Blood group O's are in the majority. Most people are blood group O. That is how God made it.
Okay, so after talking about the so is that all for the O?
Yes, the
so
O's.
the B.
The B's.
Food, when it comes to food.
Yes, when it comes to food, let me mention the A first before I come to
the food.
yes.
The groups. What is it? Only A, B, C,
A, B, O, and then A.
And A.
Yes, I talk about SC, but
that one is
the AB. Yes.
AB. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we have the A, we have the O, we have the B, we have the AB. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go. We are talking about the food for the bees.
Yes. So we finished with the for the bees. Bees normally do well with the grains. The grains here I'll mention a little maize and then a little rice. They are okay.
They are okay.
They are okay. With the white meat is okay for them. White means here whether cow or chicken is also okay. Yes. It's also okay for them.
So now let's talk about the sickness.
Yeah.
The disease.
Yes.
That can affect them or.
Now, when it comes to AIDS, they are, as I said, they are very moody. They are very quiet. Of course, they also need to exercise, but they must look at the best exercise that is good for them. That is why they must see a specialist that knows the kind of exercise they need to do. Then the specialist will lead them through that kind of exercise. Of course, like every week, you also need to exercise. Like any other person, you need to exercise, but they must not over exercise. That is one thing. And in their old age, one of the sickness that may confront them is stroke. And then BP and anything has to do with circulation, they intend to have it more.
Okay, so that's the bees.
Yes, no, that's the ACE.
Okay.
ACE.
Okay.
Yes. The bees, since you mentioned bee, I don't know whether your friend is bee or something.
No,
okay.
I want to be sure.
Okay. The bees, most of the time, they have what I normally call the spinal cord problem. Because they tend to work and heavy, you see that you have the waist pains, the spinal cord problem, and serious back pain problem. Yes. And sometimes they have lungs problem as well. Because most of them that work within the heavy industry and so on and so forth. As I said, they can work. And they can work overnight and so on and so forth. So some of the things that await them in their old age is serious waist pain and a spinal cord problem. So when you are working, you must also, have some time for some realization. You must relax to be able to, help yourself. Yes.
Okay. Then we'll later talk about the O's.
Yes.
Okay. Ok, mes chers amis, c'est toujours l'émission pour les Vades francophones. Je suis sûr que vous êtes à temps de nous suivre à la maison. Maintenant, jusqu'à 21h, on se lève sur l'émission, mais aujourd'hui, on parle des sanguines. Et que je sais que c'est quelque chose qui est vraiment important. Si on ne demande pas, on ne saura jamais. Et je sais que vous avez bien écouté à la maison. Si peut-être tu ne connais pas ton groupe, il faut aller à l'hôpital et connaître ça. Quand tu connais ça et quelqu'un à côté de toi fait certains trucs, tu sauras comment tu vas agir. La manière dont tu as agi, la manière dont tu as réagi aux choses, peut-être c'est par rapport à votre sang. Vous pouvez commencer par envoyer vos messages 024 120 9110. Envoyez vos messages et que ce soit libre pour vous. Docteur Djikounou est là. Si peut-être tu veux aller faire le test dans son hôpital, la porte est toujours ouverte. Il va lancer son numéro en allant et que vous pouvez aussi aller là-bas.